This is an attempt to look at primary care networks as they apply to the Twickenham and Whitton localities in Richmond. So let's start by just looking at the Twickenham catchment areas. So this is just Google Earth, and what you'll see in green there are the Twickenham practices highlighted in green. And if we add the Whitton ones over the top, the catchments are a little unusual there because Woodlawn covers an unusually large area. I don't know if that's NHS England's data being wrong or what, but I'm going to turn it off just for simplicity's sake. And so that shows you where the Twickenham and Whitton practices sit. I haven't at the moment included Fir Road, but I can add that in there. The reason I haven't is that geographically it's you can make a case for that sitting with Twickenham, but you can also make perhaps more of a case for it aligning with the other Hampton practices, as you can see there. And obviously there's a decision that the Green and Fir Road will have to take as to where they sit. Leaving that to one side for now, if you look at the Twickenham and Whitton practices together, they have about 73,000 patients, including the Green and Fir Road, or 64,000 without. So that would be an extremely large single primary care network in either sense, and that starts to raise questions over whether decision making is possible with a network of 9 or 10 practices covering that large a number of patients. In terms of the Whitton practices on their own and the numbers individually, if we just look at the Whitton practices there, they cover a list of about 16,500, so difficult to work Whitton up into an independent network, particularly because none of the Twickenham practices catchments sit exclusively enough in Whitton. So that's Acorn, again extends down to Teddington and over towards the river, Cross Deep, Richmond Lock, that's the Green, Twickenham Park, and York. So unless any of the Twickenham practices particularly want to align themselves with Whitton, or unless that case can be made, and you can certainly make the case if any of you do want to do that, I think it's probably easier to look at options in terms of having the two sitting together. I'm just going to overlay the Twickenham practices one by one. So there's Acorn, Cross Deep, so quite a lot of overlap there. And in Richmond Lock, again, significant overlap. Extends a little bit further north up towards Hounslow and obviously the north edge of the river. And then that's Twickenham Park, again, covers much of the same area of central Twickenham, but also crosses the bridge into Richmond. And then that's York, which probably takes us back to the first 2 or 3. And then the Green sits in the middle there. And then if we have the Whitton practice back in, again, I'm going to leave out Woodlawn because the catchment isn't particularly meaningful. But that's Staines Road, Jubilee Avenue and Crane Park. So I think those practices together, even if you exclude the Green and Fir Road, give you 64,000 patients. You could make a case there for 2 networks of 32,000. And that's what I think I would suggest. How you organise decision making within that is of course up to you. The other aspect here I'll just very briefly show you is that if Hampton does form including Fir Road, that gets it to 30,000. If they include the Green as well, they have 35,000. Teddington, which is there, that's only about 27,000. So for Teddington to be viable and for these arrangements to work, Teddington will have to acquire some patients from somewhere, and that will probably mean a practice sitting between 2 networks. So that's a discussion to have. Clearly, largely it depends on what the Green and Fir Road do, because if the Green and Fir Road go to Hampton, we could potentially talk to Hampton Hill about sitting between the 2 networks. If the Green and Fir Road don't go to Hampton, then it might be that Teddington and Hampton form a single network. So there's options to discuss there on Wednesday. I hope this is helpful.